Hello and welcome everyone to Free School Guru. Today we are going to talk about degrees of comparison. Degrees of comparison is generally used to compare different forms of adjectives. So the usage of adjective in a statement to compare two or more than two things, we have to understand what are those different types of degrees. So to start with, let's understand what are those types of degrees. For today's lesson, we are going to cover two types of degree: comparative degree and superlative degree. So again, we use comparative and superlative degree a lot in our day-to-day life, in our day-to-day communication, both written and oral. But this is just to make sure that everybody understands what those degrees of comparison are. So what is a comparative degree? When you are comparing two persons or things, you generally use a comparative degree of adjective. Okay, let me write within the brackets here, within the braces. Let me see if so degrees of comparison are basically used with adjectives, so that's why I just put those within the braces. So comparative degree, coming back to comparative degree, we generally use when we are comparing two persons or thing. While comparing two persons or things. Okay, so what could be a good example? Mike is richer than John. Mike is richer than John. So we are comparing two persons, okay, and we're telling one of them is richer than the other. So this is comparative degree. It's a comparison. It's a comparison. So we can say Pia is prettier than her cousin, right? So again, we are comparing two people, Pia and her cousin. Okay, then let's take another one. Ali is stronger than his friend. Ali is stronger than his friend. So we are comparing Ali with another person, which is his friend. So two persons, right? So comparative degree, always remember, it's always used when comparing two persons or thing. What about superlative degree? So superlative degree we generally use when we are comparing more than two persons or thing. So I will say when comparing more than two persons or thing. What could be an example? The example could be the United States is the best country. Canada is the best country. So if I'm only using one noun, a person, place or thing, to compare with the rest of the available persons or thing, and I'm telling one is the best, it's superlative degree. Okay, so now in my previous example we used Ali is stronger than his friend. It's a comparative. But then if I say Ali is the strongest boy in the class, now we are comparing more than two people, and we're telling that yes, one person, which is Ali, is the strongest of all. So you see the difference, when it comes to comparative degree and superlative degree, right? This is the easiest sport. So we're talking about a particular sport which is easiest amongst available sports, right? So that's the difference. Let's try to understand one more example. The Empire State Building is the tallest building. Okay, so we'll take some examples and then we'll come back and understand whether it's a comparative degree or a superlative degree. Okay, gold is costlier than silver. Okay, Amy is more intelligent than Jack. One more example and then we'll come back to basically understand. Frank is the richest person on the street. Okay, so now we've got a fair bit of examples. So now we should try to understand and we should try to identify which one is a comparative degree and which one is a superlative degree. So let's pick that. Now if you look at the first statement, the Empire State Building is the tallest building. Here we are talking about the tallest building, which is the Empire State Building. So one noun, Empire State Building is the tallest building amongst all the available buildings. So this sentence is using superlative degree of adjective. Now next one, gold is costlier than silver. So here we are comparing two things, gold and silver. So when you compare two things, it's a comparative degree. Okay, so gold is costlier than silver. Next, Amy is more intelligent than Jack. Again, we are comparing two people and we are saying one of them is more intelligent than the other. So comparison is between the two people. So both these sentences, they are using comparative degree of adjective. Look at the last example. Frank is the richest person on the street. Frank is the richest person on the street. We are definitely talking of more than two people here on the street. There are a number of people who live on the street, and Frank is the richest of all. So which means this is a superlative degree of adjective. Now what you need to understand is how do you convert the positive, how do you convert the positive degree of an adjective? For example, costly, right? These are all positive degree. How do you convert them into comparative degree and the superlative degree? So let's say I say cost, I say sad, I say sweet. Now if we were to add comparative degree to this, cost becomes costlier, right? This becomes your comparative degree. Okay, and what will be the superlative? Costliest. That becomes your superlative degree. Similarly, next one, sad, sadder, saddest, sweeter, sweetest. Okay, so in case of sweet, sweeter is the comparative degree of adjective, sweetest is the superlative degree of adjective. Always remember one rule. You always use the when using the superlative degree of adjective. Okay, rule. Always use the while using superlative degree. You always say, if you notice here also, Frank is the richest person. The Empire State Building is the tallest building. So you always use the with the superlative degree. So I tried to explain you in a very simple fashion. Now what I want you to do is, after this lesson, I want you to practice few things. I'm going to give you some words and you have to write the comparative degree and the superlative degree form for those words. Okay? Bright, long, short, near, heavy, hot, pretty, lucky. So all these words, I'm going to say this is exercise for you guys. Okay, so this is the exercise, or if I can say homework for you all, to basically go and practice. Okay, so I want you to write the comparative and the superlative degree of adjective for each of these words. Okay, another thing that you have to, which I thought I should let you know, is there are certain words which generally you cannot use er and IEST. Like for example, for cost we added IER, and then for superlative we said IEST. There are certain words with which you use more and most. So use more, most with adjectives like famous, beautiful, popular, active. So if I were to take an example with famous, what will be the comparative degree? More famous. This is comparative. And what will be the superlative degree? Most famous. Okay, so this is just to make sure that you understand that there are certain adjectives with which you use more and most to convert them into comparative and superlative degree. Okay, so hope I was able to explain you the degrees of comparison for adjectives in detail today. Try to do these exercise words that I've provided you, and if you have any questions or issues or concerns, please drop a comment or email me and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, so that's all for now. Take care and good luck.